one of the things that you said was interesting. Let's go to now from the parents' side. So, okay, let's say, some of these parents were entitled assholes who just felt that their children needed, then if this was the way to do it, the money meant nothing. They'll just do it, and they were very aware of it. But that doesn't describe a lot of them. Not even like Felicity Huffman, the more high profile. Uh, that he had, I think you made this point, especially with women and mothers, to exploit their maternal insecurities about their children and their own abilities and experience as mothers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was Felicity, and it was also very pronounced with Jane Buckingham, she ran a trend-setting company here in LA and is kind of a socialite around town. And I mean, both of them fit into the category of women who, had always kind of struggled with mommy guilt and, had these big, busy careers, but they also had kids and they wanted to be great at everything, but they weren't always there for pickup and drop off. And they had a lot of guilt about it. In the case of Felicity, this is public, but both her daughters had been tested for learning disabilities. And Sophia, who's the one that was part of this scam, in particular, and so Felicity's talked about this and written about this, but it was really difficult childhood, and Felicity was just always worrying about her, and can she keep up in school, and can she, emotionally, there's just all kinds of issues, and from the beginning, Felicity was kind of seeking out experts and trying to meet people to help her with this. She then, of course, started this website called What the Flicka that sort of made fun of feeling like you were never a good enough mother. And then Rick would kind of swoop in, and I mean, I think he knew that, he sensed that, and he sensed that these women were looking for advice and looking for help and looking for someone to almost make things right. Like I feel like the calculus in their heads was, I haven't been the best mother, I didn't do X, I didn't do Y, but when it comes to college, I am going to really bring it home for this kid. Like, this is what she wants, we're going to get it for her. And that was also the case with Jane Buckingham. So yeah, he was very, very astute like that, just psychologically.
Well, you put it really well. You said what seduced these mothers was that he was a caretaker of the highest order, someone to whom they could offload some of the burden they were so tired of carrying when it came to their child. Unlike everyone else making demands of them, he allowed them to breathe. So, I mean, as you point out, he was also something of a concierge. He would come in and at the beginning just assure you, and you could, I mean, I can see it because as a busy mother, and you're so worried, and so and you don't understand this whole world of, like, you can't help with the tests. You don't know calculus anymore. So you have this idea that this guy's going to come. Okay, that's one big thing off my to-do list. And as you also point out, that you had a phrase for them, the artisanal parents. I mean, these are mothers that have been in this hothouse academic world since nursery school. I mean, they've been
Right.
panicking about what nursery school their children were going to go into, and in a world where mothers judge you by your stroller, whether you give your kid organic food or how long did you nurse. So I think, as you said, that feeling of judgment as well. And if they fail at getting their kid into the college um, that their kid wants to go to, it's not just about status. It's they've failed as mothers and they've disappointed their children. Like, that was the other thing they couldn't stand. Little
Yeah.
Johnny's disappointment.
Yeah. And I just thought this now that you said that, but I think also just that he was a man, that they felt less, we do, and I'm a mother, we feel more judgment from other women.
Yeah.
So because he was a man, there was less of that. And I think, you know, talk about concierge service. I mean, he is a workaholic. He wakes up at 4. He is on the phone. He's, the Netflix documentary talks, interviews a woman who sort of had a relationship with, but it wasn't possible because he's too busy. So he's the guy who you can text him any day or night. You can email him. He will pick up the phone. He is there for you, full service. And I think, yeah, to these mothers in particular, to have someone like that they're clearly taking care of things. They are, this is not some slacker, like he's
Mhm.
got this, and no question is too small, no concern. I mean, he would advise kids, when you go take the SAT, bring a sweater, it's going to be cold. You know, every detail, this guy has got it covered. And I think that was such, as you say, just such a relief for a lot of these moms who, you know, they're tired of being the ones having to think of all those details.
Yo.